A play fake. Young goes deep middle. He's got Jerry Rice. Touchdown 49ers!
Welcome to another edition of the 49ers Family Podcast, where my grandpa and I break down the game each week and talk about his experiences and stories since he became a fan in 1949. My name is Josh, and I'm here with my grandpa Mike, and we are a 49ers family. All right, Grandpa, week one in the tank, and it was quite the dramatic game. I mean, didn't make it easy on ourselves. I'll say that from special teams and just I mean all that matters at the end is that we came out the win. And week one, that's really all you can ask for. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing that I love about the NFL is that it doesn't matter how you win; it just matters if you win. And we got
Right.
that W. So how are you feeling about it?
Well, it was a huge game, Josh. Very meaningful. The division games are, to me, the six most important games of the year. If you can, beat the Rams and Arizona and Seattle, maybe 5 out of 6 times, you'll win the division. So this was a very, very meaningful game, and it's a huge win. Um, so I think, when you look at, actually, I didn't see the game live. We were traveling. We were in Idaho, and I was flying back to LA. So I didn't see it live, but I did see the, tape copies. I watched the game about 3 times. But the defense really played well. So Robert Saleh is back, and the Niners had 72 plays. Seattle had 50.
Yeah.
I mean, a great difference. And the Niners outgained Seattle 384 to 230, I think it was. We held them to 13 points last year. The defense was giving up 26 a game, and here we gave up 13. So there's good signs on the defense. And Brock Purdy, once again, I just love this guy. Directed a 7-play, 68-yard touchdown drive with 3 minutes to go, and then this guy, this little-known guy, Jake Tunges,
I
he's
know.
in his third year at a Cal. He had not caught an NFL pass until Sunday. He's played 3 years sparingly, but he's been in the league 3 years. He started with the Bears. He was an undrafted free agent and played 1 year with them. And then the Niners signed him the next year, so he's been with us for 2 years. Hadn't caught a single pass until Sunday, where he caught 3, and of course the third one was brilliant when he jumped in front of that Seattle defender. I mean, wow, that was dramatic. He was, so I looked him up because I didn't know a thing about him. He was born in Cincinnati, but he went to high school in Los Gatos.
Uh-huh.
So his family, for some reason, moved to California. And then he attended Cal, and he's now a hero. So anyway, thank you, Jeff Tunges. McCaffrey, he just, every game he's just a first down maker. He touched the ball 31 times and gained 142 yards. Just a machine. So we really missed him last year. Seattle's game plan was to run the ball. That's what they've done all preseason. And that's what they wanted to do on Sunday. They ran 26 times and only gained 84 yards. So that one of the telltale signs of this game was we're going to learn real quick against a team that wants to run how we are going to do. And the Niners really did very well. We played 5 rookies. 12 made the 53-man squad, and I'll talk about the rookies a little later. But and then Brock Purdy he remains undefeated in Seattle. So that's really saying something. It's a very difficult place to play. It's one of the loudest venues in the league, and he's just as calm as a cucumber. Special teams remains an issue. Very disappointing. We missed a 27-yard field goal. That's 6 yards shorter than an extra point. And Moody had a field goal blocked, and so it cost him his job. And then finally, Bosa's strip sack right at the end. I mean, Seattle marched right down the field, and we're inside the 10, and his strip sack saved the game. So very meaningful game, a huge win. Unfortunately, we've had some injuries that are not good, but we'll talk about those in a few minutes as well. So yeah, big win.
Big win. Yeah, looking at the stat sheet, things that I look at: first downs. Niners had 24 first downs to Seattle's 14. That's obviously huge. Third down efficiency, we were 50% on third down, 2 for 2 on fourth down. Seattle, meanwhile, was 3 for 10. You mentioned the total plays, total yards. We had 384. They had 230. Yeah, I mean, the Niners did enough to move the chains, and that's why you look at the time of possession. Niners held the ball for almost 38 minutes, 37 minutes and 58 seconds versus the 22:02 for Seattle. Penalties, everything I just said, I think is definitely in our favor. But penalties, we did have 9 penalties for 61 yards. They had 4. Seattle had 4 for 30 yards. And then, of course, it did even out in the end with that the strip sack fumble at the very end of the game. But we did have those 2 interceptions thrown. Didn't like that, but we forced the 2 fumbles, so there's a even margin there from a turnover perspective. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Niners did enough to win this one. Their defense was killing it. And then all of a sudden, as you said, that last drive, Seahawks get the ball after our miraculous touchdown there by Jake Tonjes. And they just started just chunk yard plays after chunk yard plays. And I forget exactly where that last, I feel like they got down to like the 9-yard line.
They did.
And man, was that just
that would have been awful.
Yeah, and then
to lose
they
that.
got down to the 9-yard line, and then I don't know how this happened. Obviously, this is going to be something that the Seahawks look at in the film room, but on that play, Nick Bosa had a one-on-one on what was obviously a passing down. I don't know how they kind of let that happen, but that's, props to the defense, either confusing their O-line or what have you. But Nick Bosa got a one-on-one, and he just backed him right into Sam Darnold. Ball comes out before, kind of as Darnold is lifting his arm up, which we all know is a fumble, and Nick Bosa even falls on top of it. So he caused it and he recovered it, which is always cool to see. So yeah, what a game. Just dramatic. And you knew it was going to be. That's what we both predicted, that we would win by 3. We ended up winning by 4. A little bit lower scoring than we thought, but yeah, just so dramatic.
Yeah, and the penalties in Seattle, it's so loud. They go to a silent count, and it's just a tough place to play. So penalties are part of that package, and I'm sure they'll clean that up. We go to another loud place actually Sunday in New Orleans. But yeah, a very good victory. So that's just so important to win the division games.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But you mentioned the rookies. Was there something else you wanted to say about how the rookies performed on Sunday?
Yeah, we have, quite a class of rookies this year. Actually, 12 rookies made the 53-man squad, and 5 played on Sunday. And probably the star of the game was Marquise Single, the safety. He was just all over the place. He didn't really have to play too much in coverage, but he was his athleticism and instincts are excellent. He made, I think, 7 or 8 tackles. He was just all over the place, and he played 52 downs, so he played the whole game. And he wears number 36, which is kind of reminiscent of Merton Hanks back in the day. And then our number 1 draft pick, Mikael Williams, he didn't have a spectacular productive day. He played in 39 snaps. He made 1 tackle. There were no pressures as a pass rusher, but his presence was noticed against the run. Seattle only averaged 3.2 yards per carry, and they didn't have any long runs. So Mikael Williams played good, but nothing spectacular. And then our nickelback, Upton Stout, who was spectacular in camp. He didn't play in any preseason games, but he was really stood out in camp. He had a tough day. He allowed a 25-yard catch on the Seahawks' first touchdown drive, and then he committed a pass interference penalty in the end zone to set up their second touchdown. Mm-hmm. But other than that, he played very well. He defended some passes, and he's gonna be very good. He wears number 20.
Yeah. He had Oh, go ahead.
Pardon me?
I was say Upton Stout had a tough first half for sure. A lot of what I was reading is that in the second half he played a lot better. That he seemingly found his groove, which as a rookie. There's definitely, as we all know, kind of an acclimation period. So hopefully he learns fast, and continues his success from the second half.
Yeah. And then defensive tackle C.J. West only played 7 snaps, which was kind of a surprise. He had 1 tackle. And just didn't really play that much. And then Alfred Collins, the other defensive tackle that we drafted, he only played 9 snaps, and he was on special teams for 3 plays. He did also have 1 tackle, and again, we really held Seattle to 84 yards rushing, and they ran 26 times. So. It was surprising. Nick Martin, the rookie linebacker, did not play. So anyway, I'm just keeping an eye on the rookies. They're going to play this year, and we're going to see how they perform. It's going to be very, very vital. We have 12 rookies on our 53-man squad. So that's a little bit about the rookies.
Mm-hmm. I just, as you were talking, I looked it up to see which teams, if any, had more rookies on their 53-man. Mm-hmm. And it looks like we are tied with the Panthers for the most on the 53-man. So,
okay,
that's unofficial. I need to fact check that, but still.
Yeah. And it's also interesting. Last year we were the oldest team in the NFL, and now with 12 rookies, you'd think that would make a dent in that. We're now the 3rd oldest.
Yeah.
We only moved up two spots. Yeah. But it's a very tight window, the age thing. It's like, Green Bay is the youngest team. They're 26 years old average. We're 28 years old average. So anyway, And then I heard today that the Niners are talking to Cleveland about a trade for a tight end,
I saw that.
David Njoku. I don't know how to say his last name. It's Njoku,
Yeah,
Njoku.
Njoku. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're talking to Cleveland. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but he was their number one pick in 2017, and he went to the Pro Bowl in 2023. So
Yeah,
that's a possibility.
that's a possibility. Yeah, couple last things on the game. Our scores, I had predicted 24-21, you predicted 20-17, and you were closer. Final score 17-13. Low scoring game for a first season first game. But
Yeah.
I'm also I don't know why I continue to be surprised, but you look across the board in the NFL and it's usually low scoring affairs, and not many teams score 30. Usually it's
Mm-hmm.
in the 20s, and the other team is in the teens. So these
Well,
games,
when you think of, go ahead.
I just say
When you think,
the margin of error in the NFL is just not that big. These wins are
no,
not by much.
yeah. But this is the first game, and typically teams don't play their starters in the preseason. So, it's always kind of a rough game. We played Pittsburgh 2 years ago in the first game, and we really killed them. But otherwise, it's, you know, they're all playing their first game. I always look at them in the fourth quarter to see what we have left,
Hmm.
and we had enough.
Yeah. And then as
Yeah,
far as individual performances, before we get to game balls, notable performances, Brock Purdy was 26 for 35 for 277, had the two touchdowns and the two interceptions, good for a 92.2 rating, 80.3 QBR. Rushing, Christian McCaffrey ran 22 times for 69 yards, an average of 3.1, a long of 13. Brian Robinson got in there for 9 carries for 33 yards at a 3.7 clip with a long of 9. And then, very notably, I'd say two things from a receiving perspective. Ricky Pearsall hauled in 4 receptions for 108 yards. I am happy
hmm,
to be proved wrong there. They've developed some good chemistry, which will have to be sidelined for the next couple weeks. We'll talk about that in a second. But to your
yeah,
point, McCaffrey got a lot of touches, 9 receptions, 73 yards. So he got a lot of work on Sunday, that's for sure. So
yeah. And then, they said he had a calf injury. He was fine.
yeah, turned out to be
He's
fun.
just a machine. I just love the guy. He first down after first down after first down. You
Hmm.
need 5 yards, he'll get it.
Hmm. So with that being said, Grandpa, who would you give your game ball to for game one?
Well, I'm going to give my game ball to Jake Tunges. I mean,
Yes,
what that was a spectacular catch. He
like
threw it in a crowd, and Jake came down with it. So he's not going to have many of these moments. So I'm going to give him my game ball.
awesome. Yeah, he definitely. I mean, talk about being ready. Next man up mentality. He was ready, and he went and got that ball. I think the defender on Brock Purdy's pass was
Yeah,
locked in on that. It was kind of a floater too. So he was just
yeah,
waiting for the ball to come to him, and Jake went and got it and really took it away from him. And it was just
right.
crazy.
It reminded me of a basketball rebound. He
Yeah.
just jumped in front of him and grabbed
Yep.
it.
Very much so.
Yeah. So I
I
give,
would give my game ball to the other to the deliverer of that pass in Brock
okay.
Purdy. I think I mean, sure, the two interceptions, I didn't totally love that. He threw into some tight coverage. But at the same time, I think he delivered. I mean, he 277 yards on that secondary. That's impressive. And
Yeah.
even to keep that last play alive and make it happen. That is, I mean, it was impressive. I don't love the two interceptions, but other than that, I think Brock Purdy played a pretty good game. He was under duress. He got pressured a lot in 72 plays on offense. So he looked the part of what we hoped he would be. And yeah, so I give him my game ball.
And he was injured the
Yeah,
whole second half.
exactly.
So yeah,
Let's talk about injuries because there were a number of them.
yeah.
Uh,
So
and help me out here, Grandpa. But George Kittle goes down with a hamstring injury. I believe late in the first half, does not return for the second half. Hence Jake Tonjes getting some snaps. Also,
hmm
Jamal Jennings going out with lower body injury.
shoulder.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was a shoulder. You're right. Shoulder injury.
Yeah.
So the depth at wide receiver continues, and in fact, right after the game, pretty much Kyle Shanahan signaled that we would most likely be signing Kendrick Bourne, which has happened. Kendrick Bourne is back with the Niners after his
hmm
2 years with the Patriots. So he reunites with Mac Jones actually, which is kind of funny. As does
Yeah.
Brian Robinson from Alabama. Him and Mac were teammates at Alabama. So we're just
That'll help.
getting the crew back together.
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
hmm
most notably was, of course, Brock Purdy was not mentioned anything after the game, but the day after reported two injuries, one on his left shoulder when he got kind of driven into the ground, and but the bigger issue, I believe, is the toe. He has a toe
Right.
injury. Shanahan was asked, "Is it a turf toe?" And he said he didn't know or couldn't answer that yet. And
hmm
so yeah, now Tom Pelissero, I believe, no, Ian Rappaport. Ian Rappaport reported that he is supposedly out 2 to 5 weeks. Grandpa,
That's a killer.
oof,
Yeah. Yeah. That's devastating. Um, toe. The toe sounds like it's a little thing, but if you can't walk, you can't run. I
yeah.
mean, it's very painful, and yeah, I know they can shoot it up, and he could probably play, but they're going
And
to play on
that's
turf.
probably what they did at halftime. Honestly, if he was having some discomfort there, there's a mixture of
Yeah.
adrenaline and they, shoot it up with some pain medicine and then he played for the rest of the second half, but that doesn't obviously heal it.
No.
You can't be taking shots every
Right.
single day of practice,
Right.
every game, etc. So
Yep.
Mac Jones time, I guess.
It is, and I don't know. I This is a very winnable game in New Orleans. New Orleans is really not very good, and now it makes it a contest.
Right.
So we'll
Right.
see. We'll see how he does.
Yep. So let's
Can't
preview.
turn the ball over.
Yep, exactly. So let's preview this game a little bit. Niners go on
Okay.
the road to New Orleans. Game will kick off at it's the day game, whatever the early game. So I believe it kicks off 10 a.m. Pacific. Um,
Correct.
and obviously in New Orleans, I already said that. Niners right now. Are favored by 4.5. So a little bit
Oh.
more of a margin than they had on the Seahawks. The
hmm
last time we played the Saints actually was 3 years ago, um, where we beat the Saints 13-0 in a low scoring affair. So makes it, I think there's a lot of talk, as you said, about the Seahawks. They don't necessarily have a real identity right now. They have a new coach, Kellen Moore, his first head
hmm
coaching gig. Brandon
Yep.
Staley, is their DC, and they're kind of glued together right now to put a team on the field. I believe they'll probably lose a lot of games and take a quarterback in this next draft. They have
Right.
they have a couple of guys, Spencer Rattler, Tyler Schuff, but Spencer Rattler got the start last week. Didn't do particularly amazing. 27 for 46. They threw the ball a ton. So
Hmm.
yeah, like I'm not sure exactly what to expect from these guys. Alvin Kamara is still their running back, but they have other guys in the stable as well. So yeah, what do you think, Grandpa? What do you know about this team? Yeah.
Well, they're going through transition for sure. They have a new head coach, Kellen Moore, who was an offensive coordinator at Philly and Dallas. So he's an offensive guy. Um, and their quarterback situation really took a jolt. Derek Carr suddenly retired on May the 10th. I mean, right before, camp. And he had a shoulder injury that just wasn't healing. So he retired, and it just left the quarterback position wide open. And as you mentioned, Spencer Rattler won the competition.
Mhm.
He had gone to Oklahoma for 2 years, and then he transferred to South Carolina for 2 years. And like you mentioned, Josh, he threw the ball 46 times against Arizona in the opener. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Almost 50 times. His quarterback rating was 48.7. So they are throwing the football. And there's a lot of unknown about New Orleans, but they're one of the teams that's, in all the power things, they're ranked very low. So it's a game we should win. But the keys to the game are going to be no turnovers and hopefully no injuries. But yeah, Mac Jones cannot turn the ball over. And we have a new kicker, which is really good news. Moody was, I feel for the guy, but boy, you got to win games. And I even think back to the last Super Bowl against Kansas City. He had an extra point blocked. He kicks low. He had a field goal block last Sunday, and the Super Bowl against Kansas City had an extra point blocked. Had he made that, we would have won in regulation. And nobody really talks about that, but I mean, he hurt us against Cleveland. He went to kick the winning field goal, and it was a short one, and he missed it. It just was too big for him. So we have a new kicker, and he has the fourth best field goal kicking percentage of all time. I don't know why he was still out there available, but Eddie Pinheiro. So he's going to be an improvement, and I'm glad that they finally made this switch. This Moody has really driven me nuts. I just almost couldn't watch when he kicks.
Yeah, every time he went out there, it was hold your breath. I mean, which usually, kicking always is a little bit of holding your breath, but for him, it
Yeah,
was just, I mean, it's just so many ups and downs, and like didn't
yeah,
nothing was a sure thing. A 27-yard field goal. I mean, I could hit a 27-yard field goal. I know people always say that, but like
yeah.
there's 1,000 kickers in high school that kick 27-yard field goals, and he hit the uprights. Um,
Exactly. Yeah,
so I'm glad
yeah.
they did something
So
too. I felt like they were always trying to project confidence onto him, but that he never actually.
right, you either have it or you don't.
Yeah,
You can't say, "Well, don't be confident." That
yeah,
doesn't work.
yeah.
He was
So
very good in college, and we spent a third-round draft pick on him, and it just didn't pan out. So you have to, cut it loose.
right,
So I'm glad we did it right away, game one.
yeah. Yeah, and as
Yeah.
far as keys to the game, you already mentioned, turnovers, and I think 100% I agree with that. This one in particular, I think the defense is going to have to carry the team a little bit. That if anything,
Hmm.
we need to win that turnover margin. We need to limit their offense. I mean, their offense didn't do much last week. They scored 13 points on the Cardinals, but yeah, the Cardinals really shut down the run and forced them to throw. Uh, the Saints only had they had 107 yards on the ground, and but yeah, as we said, 46 pass attempts is just absurd. And those
Yeah.
even of those 46 pass attempts, 27 were completions, so almost 50%. But that still was only for 208 passing yards. So
Right. Those short passes.
yeah, yeah, they did not do well in the red zone. They went 1 for 4. They had 13 penalties week one, but no, they didn't give away any turnovers last week. So
Hmm.
it should be an interesting game. It makes it way more interesting. I actually was looking at where the line started. The line started actually with
Hmm.
the Niners at 7.5, favored by 7.5, and I was actually wrong. It has now moved down to 3.5. So it's moved
Yeah, that's
four
what.
points with the Brock Purdy news, which is
Yeah, that's what I saw. It was 5.5 for a couple of days, and then the Brock Purdy news dropped it to 3.5. Is the last thing I've seen.
mhm,
So that's a tight. That's a field goal.
yeah, that's a field goal.
Yep.
That's why the kicker matters.
Not
And we talked about the kicker
not
last
much.
week. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's the points are points. These are low scoring affairs. You need when you get in a position to get points, you take them. And you can't afford
Oh
to miss
yeah.
field goals. Uh,
And I expect we're going to run the ball a lot because Purdy isn't going to play, so we'll run it more than normal.
I agree. I think
But
Robinson's going to get a lot of action this game. He got only 9 carries this last one, and I think he had like one reception. I couldn't. I
yeah,
think he's going to get more like 20 carries this game. Christian McCaffrey might get 20 carries. Um, we all know how Kyle Shanahan feels about the running game, and he does not care, if it's necessarily balanced.
yeah,
He's going to run the ball if he wants to run the ball until it doesn't work, but then he's probably still going to run it.
yeah.
Should be interesting.
It will be.
So, Grandpa,
It will be. It will be.
what's your score prediction then?
I would. I'm going to go with 20-17 Niners.
Okay, same prediction as last week, eh?
Yeah, just going to be low scoring and yeah, 20-17.
Yeah.
Which
I'll go ahead.
go ahead, Josh. What's yours?
I was gonna say even lower. I feel like I've a little bit learned my lesson. Maybe this time I'm gonna go on too far the extreme. I think this game has the potential to me to be like a what am I gonna say? Let's say, yeah, I'm gonna say 16-10 Niners.
Wow.
I think it's gonna be low. I think that they're not gonna get many points. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I feel like we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think the Niners win this one, but I think it's not gonna be the prettiest of game. I'm not expecting too much from Mac Jones. My biggest issue with Mac Jones, frankly, is his lack of mobility. I'm very concerned
Hmm.
about that. He's kind of a sitting duck. He's a pocket passer. He likes to throw in rhythm. He has good timing when he has
Yeah.
time. And so it's going to be important that he gets the ball out. I think there's going to be a lot of screens and kind of short yardage stuff to uh,
Hmm.
kind of a running game through the air, like 4 or 5 yards here and there. I don't really see him stretching the field and going deep, but we'll see. Maybe that's
We'll see.
catch him off guard.
Another interesting aspect of this is when you think back to the Trey Lance draft, Mac Jones was, one of the names, and Shanahan supposedly really liked him. I guess he did because we've signed him now. So we'll see what Shanahan sees in him. He had a very good rookie year in New England, and then 2 bad years, and then he went to Jacksonville and didn't do anything. So we will see.
Yep, we shall see.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, I think that will do it for another episode of 49ers Family. Thanks for tuning in. We will be back next week breaking down this Niners Saints game. But until then, go Niners.
Go Niners.